It was supposed to be a simple upgrade. My friend wanted to swap his regular clutch on his BS3 NS for a slipper clutch. You know, for a smoother downshift and better feel. He grabbed my tools and said he had it handled. Famous last words. And then comes the call and he said, I think I messed it up. I get there and start checking, and the entire clutch hub is shaking like it's trying to escape from the engine. There is way too much play in the input shaft. My diagnostic instinct? Bearing problem. No doubt. Which means there is only one thing left to do: pull the entire engine down. This is a story on how just an upgradation of clutch had actually ruined the entire engine and what all we had to do to fix it. After getting the engine back to home, I sprayed down the entire engine with diesel and I let it soak for some time. With the help of my friend, I scrubbed the entire engine down and rinsed it to remove any dirt and grime before we move ahead with dismantling the engine. I started the dismantling process by removing the water pump cover and the hose itself. Then I unbolted the starter motor, followed by removing the 4 bolts holding the head cover and removed the head along with the gasket out of the engine. I went ahead and removed the timing chain tensioner, which is held by two 10mm bolts. Now the clutch cover was already loose, so I removed all the bolts holding it and removed the clutch cover out. I removed the clutch bearing and confirmed if it's in good shape. Using an impact wrench and the special tool, I removed the clutch nut, which is actually a reverse thread. Using a magnet stick, I also removed the washer, which has its own orientation, which has to be noted. Now you can take out the entire clutch stack out of the engine. Inspecting the clutch stack, he have installed it correctly and also had a washer which had to be mandatorily transferred, and he have done it. Moving on, I went ahead and removed the primary gear nut, which is normal threaded but still requires a dedicated tool. Also ensure that you collect the washers. Now before removing the timing chain itself, I went ahead and removed the 12mm bolt holding the camshaft sprocket. After removing the camshaft sprocket and loosening the Allen key bolt which is holding the sleeve of spark plug and taking out the sleeve, now I could finally take out the entire timing chain out of the engine. After removing the timing chain sprocket, you can finally take out the clutch hub and the new collar which you have already installed. The next step, I removed the gear shaft entirely out of the engine. You could see the problem already, and the bearing is actually damaged, and I don't know how it has happened. If you have found it already, the crankcase is actually having a welding mark which is from the previous mechanic. If there is any damage to the crankcase, it is ideal to replace this instead of doing any welding work on it. And this is a bad job done by the previous mechanic to cover up any mistake which they might have done. Next, I'll go ahead and remove the primary gate drive and inspect if it has any damages, and if you found any, the ideal thing is to replace it. Using the magnet stick, I'm also collecting the half moon key which is mandatory to put it in place. Next, I went ahead and removed the oil pump out of the engine. And next, I removed the start drive which is held by Allen key and also its stopper and the spring. There's a small pin which has to be collected and do not lose it. I'll also remove the impeller as a final task. Next, I went ahead and removed the magnet cover and noticed that this magnet has been already damaged, and I suspect this might have happened while the previous mechanic tried to remove the magnet without a proper tool. I went ahead and removed the bolt holding the entire magnet rotor on the engine. Using the special tool, I lifted the magnet out and kept it aside. I went ahead and removed the gears for the self-start and counter gears. There is one woodruff key which has to be collected from the crankshaft where the magnet aligns to the engine. Using the special tool again, I'm removing the bolt holding the crankshaft gear by stopping it using a screwdriver since I don't have a special tool. I went ahead and removed the balancer bolt too using an Allen key. I took out the washer and removed the gear which is actually attached to the crankshaft itself, and then followed by the counter gear which is attached to the balancer. Now one final thing to remove from this side is the neutral switch sensor. I removed all the connectors and the holders for this sensor and took it out of the engine. Also, don't forget to correct the spring and a small metal pin which is held inside the hole where the neutral sensor sits. Now in order to remove the head, I went ahead and removed the 2 stay bolts of the engine. Now in a crisscross pattern, I removed the 4 stud bolt holding the entire head unit onto the engine. By doing this, you can take out the entire head unit out of the engine and inspect for any damages. Removing the head gasket followed by the 2 timing chain guides which has to be removed. This channel you see is where the coolant circulates and absorbs the heat and expels through the radiator. Lifting the engine block and carefully looking at the piston, you can see the molybdenum coating that is there on both the sides has actually worn out. This is pretty normal, but the problem is if you look at the inside area of the cylinder, it is pretty much damaged and this requires replacement than reusing it. Alright, let's look at that later. I went ahead and removed the pin which is holding the piston to the connecting rod. Taking out the pin, the piston is free out of the engine. It's just a matter of removing all the bolts holding the engine together and separating the mid-engine to expose the crankshaft balancer and the gearbox. With this, the engine disassembly is completed. Stay tuned for the assembly process.